So what do you guys think about our lit teacher?
Hrabak?
Yeah.
I hate him.
You hate him?
I hate him.
Oh.
Dude,
Trisha.
you've known him for maybe 4 weeks now. He's not that bad.
I don't know, there's something about him. I don't like him.
You're judging him too fast.
Have you seen his bow ties?
That's not a reason to hate him.
Actually...
Okay, whatever, that's not important. We have a lit project due in 2 days.
Wait, lit project?
Yeah, you know, the one on New Historicism.
New historical...
New historicism.
New historicism. What is that?
You don't know? Did no one work on their project yet? Do you know, Trisha? Can you explain it for her?
Is it like new history and like how history just keeps going on?
No. No one knows?
I didn't even know we had a project.
I guess not.
Okay, fine, I'll explain it briefly. So basically, New Historicism is a school of literary theory that seeks to understand the literary work by placing it in its historical context. Does that make sense?
I think it does. Yeah, I got it.
Maybe.
Okay, so for example, for the Poisonwood Bible, the book that we had to read for school, you know, the Poisonwood Bible.
Poison ivy.
Poisonwood Bible, yeah.
Sure.
So we should look up Barbara Kingsolver's past life and see how her experiences influenced her beliefs and how her interpretations are displayed in her book.
Oh, that gives me an idea. She lives in Virginia and she doesn't live that far away from us. Maybe we can go and visit her.
Yeah, so that we can like find out about her past life.
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should do it. Let's go.
Can you drive us? You know, like at least try to help us.
Okay.
Be useful for once.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the trash.
Hey, hey.
Guys, what should we ask her when we see her?
Barbara Kingsolver?
Yeah.
Let's just ask her questions about her life.
Okay.
Wait, why? Isn't our project about new historicism?
Yeah, but like in order to fully analyze it from a new historic perspective, we have to know her like life story, so that we can truly see how events in her past life influenced her perspective and the events in the book.
Isn't she old?
No, I don't think she's dead yet. The book was published in like '98. Yeah,
Hopefully she's alive.
I'm sure she's alive.
Okay.
So, like, to summarize, we basically just need to know about her life right now, right? And then afterwards, later, we can analyze it.
Yeah.
So, like, basically, since New Historicism, it seeks to analyze the literary work not from an objective standpoint, but it's more subjective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if we know more about her life, then we can fully understand her beliefs and how that influenced her writing. Right?
Yeah, that works. That makes sense.
Where does she live?
Yes, hello?
Hi, are you Barbara Kingsolver?
Yes. Who are you?
I'm Trisha, and this is Christy.
From where? How are you guys at my house?
Oh, we wanted to ask you some questions about the Poisonwood Bible and some of your like life story and everything.
Oh, hi, nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you too.
Please come in, please come in.
Hi. Hi.
So, welcome to my home. How do you guys like the book? What are your questions?
We really enjoyed the book. But we were curious, how did you get your inspiration?
Okay, so, like, the Congo? Okay, so, the book takes place in the 1950s and 60s, and how I vividly described the book was because I had first-hand experience there. So when I was 7, I lived in the Congo myself. I experienced everything firsthand. It's because my dad was a medical doctor. He wanted to go help out the students and the little kids in impoverished communities. So there I learned what the whole environment looks like. The beautiful trees, the sunset, the environment, the culture, and the people.
Oh, that's nice.
But there were often bad times as well. You see, I was the only white girl in my community, and there was always discrimination.
So I noticed that you wrote about Ruth May and how she noticed a communist Boy Scout group in the story.
Yeah.
And like, what influenced you to write about that?
Well, you see, when I lived, I experienced communism firsthand. So the Cold War was raging when I lived when I was writing the book, And so I experienced the apprehension, the fear that society felt, and I decided to put those experiences and opinions into the book.
Okay, that makes sense.
Also, we noticed that there are many biblical allusions in the book. Do you have any, was this influenced by any personal experience with Christianity?
Oh.
Like, were your parents religious? Was your dad a missionary like Nathan Price?
Well, my parents weren't all that religious, but prior to writing this book, I wanted to research more about the lives of missionaries, and then biblical references that I wanted to add into the book. So when I lived in the Congo, I talked to many missionary families there, working there, and then I studied countless of biblical texts and biblical writings to get a better grasp of what it actually is to be a missionary.
Okay, so you just did biblical research by yourself?
A lot of it.
Okay. Memorable event that you had as a teen?
Well, let's see. One of my favorite experiences was back in college. Well, I was with a group of friends, and we really didn't like the Vietnam War. That war was just like, why were we ever in it, you know? So we decided to go to this one big protest against the Vietnam War, shouting out why we hate the war, why the U.S. should get out of it. Because to me, it was such a stupid thing to go into the war where we should not have gone, you know?
Yeah, that sounds like a very influential experience.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my gosh. Our project's due tonight, guys.
We didn't even do anything.
Of course, we decide to procrastinate. I hate this group so much.
It's all Hrabak's fault.
Why is it Hrabak's
He
fault?
only
Why do you
gave
have
us
to
a
blame
week.
everything on him?
He only gave us a week to do this.
He gave us like 3 classes.
Wait, guys. This reminds me, for our project, we had to do it on New Historicism. So, right now, we're showing an example of it, where we have different views of Mr. Hrabak based on, our own experiences. For example, I had him last year as a teacher, and, I had a really good grade in his class, and I thought he was really nice. And that's why I have a good perspective of him. Well, you've only had him for 5 weeks now, and you had him for 2 classes, and he gave you... He gave you a huge project, a lot of work. One of them was an AP class, so I can see why that would be your judgment, while my judgment would be a little bit different than yours.
Hey guys! Hey! Sorry I wasn't at the interview yesterday. I was doing Mr. Hrabak's long freaking homework. But I think I kind of get what New Historicism is. But can you guys maybe clarify? And Trisha, why were you fighting with Chrissy yesterday?
So the basic idea of New Historicism is that people's outlooks on certain ideas is influenced by their own personal experiences in history. That fight between me and Chrissy can be a great example. You see, Chrissy hates Hrabak because he gives her an unexplainable amount of homework, whereas I like Hrabak because he gives me easy A's. Do you get that?
I think so. So for our project, we need to understand the historical events in King Solomon's life and examine how our events created ideas should put into the book, right?
Yeah, and not only that, but we also need to understand the historical time frame of the book itself and analyze the connections between those interpretations.
Alright, cool. So, how was the interview?
The interview went really nice. We asked her questions about her life and how any of her experiences influenced some of the events in the novel. She was super sweet. We were able to get all the info we needed from her.
That's really cool. Well, first, let's actually start our project, okay? So, let's get our historical time frames right. What time frame is the book supposed to be set in? What about the author's time frame?
Well, the story's set from the 1950s and lasted until the 90s. She was born in the 50s, and she's clearly still alive.
Obviously. She's obviously still alive, but... Okay, so what were the key events in her life? The key historical things that we need to focus on?
Well, she did actually live in the Congo. She moved there when she was 7 because her father worked in public health, and he wanted to help the people there.
Yeah, I can totally see how that relates to the book. She had first-hand experience in the environment and knew what the trees, the grass, and the animals were like there. It must have been easy for her to put her feelings and thoughts into the book.
Yeah, she did have a general understanding of what Congo was like. However, in order to capture a complete picture of what Congo was like in the novel, she had to research the language, culture, and music of its people. What's amazing is that she had her own personal Kikongo French dictionary and studied it just to grasp the language.
Oh, so I was reading the biography of the author alone when I was at the interview, and it talked about how she
knew some information about the Vietnam War. Apparently, she like protested against the war when she was in college. Do you think that has any relation with the book or anything?
Definitely. The event of her protesting against the Vietnam War exemplifies her opinions on the involvement of Western powers in foreign countries. So the event of her protesting implies that she felt negatively towards imperialism, colonialism, and any sort of attempt to be involved in foreign powers in that sort of manner. So this is shown throughout the Poisonwood Bible by the direct and indirect characterization of Nathan Price, the father of the Price family. So Nathan Price serves as a metaphor for Western powers in general, and the Congo symbolizes as a metaphor for the various foreign countries throughout history that were in a sense violated by misguided attempts by Western powers to help them, like Nathan Price.
Okay, I agree. So in addition, I think Barbara Kingsolver further expresses her interpretations of post-imperialism and post-colonialism through Nathan Price's biblical allusions and attempts at radical evangelism.
Exactly. So Nathan Price's misguided Christianity is another metaphor for the misguided attempts by Western powers to help those that they think are below them, such as developing countries. And I wanted to clarify that Barbara Kingsolver herself did not experience any sort of falling out with religious institutionalism in her lifetime. Contrary to popular belief, her parents were not especially religious, and she did not grow up in like a religious household like the four sisters. She's in fact aware of the many different sides of Christianity and not just the radical perspective like Nathan Price is.
Yeah, her awareness and research on the biblical texts and missionaries in the Congo is reflected in the book through the juxtaposition of Brother Fowles and Nathan Price. While they are both missionaries in the Congo in a relatively similar time period, there is a big contrast between their nature and personalities.
Yeah, Brother Fowles is kind-hearted and willing to listen with others, while Nathan Price is on the different end of the spectrum and is extremely opinionated and narrow-minded. It's like Brother Fowles said, they're Christians and they're Christians. Barbara Kingsolver is indirectly talking about the good intentions of some Western powers initially, and the damage that can be done with these good intentions becomes misguided attempts, like Nathan Price's mission, basically.
So in our interview with Barbara Kingsolver, she also talked about the civil rights movement, right?
Yeah.
How does that play into the book?
Dude, I don't know. I can't find any connections.
Are you guys serious? Look, you idiots, it's so simple. She lived through the segregation herself. When she was in the Congo, she was one of the few white girls in the village. Think of the discrimination she must have felt. Remember when she talked about the Congolese kids touching her long hair and pulling to see if it's real or not? Also, the civil rights movement took place during her lifetime. She felt the segregation of African Americans. Do you remember what Ruth May said earlier on in the book? She talked about how Jimmy Crow made the laws stating that Africans are different from regular people and that they should keep to their own. No. Jim Crow laws were still alive and ongoing in the historical time of the book and Barbara's life. She effectively portrays the discrimination of the time frame of her life through the Price's discrimination by the Congolese people around them.
Wait, but what about?
No, the Price family was looked differently upon. They were treated differently because they were white. Rachel's hair was the talk of the Congolese boys. The villagers disliked Nathan's constant push for baptism. Orleana was depressed because she felt she missed the conformity of the United States. That's how Barbara put her own experiences and thoughts of discrimination and segregation into the books.
Wow, that wasn't that dumb, Christy.
That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm really impressed.
Yeah, you should be.
Well, anyway, what about our project? It's due tomorrow. We haven't done a single
It's
thing.
due in like a few hours.
It's 9 p.m. Like, what are we gonna do?
How about, why don't we do a video?
I mean, we have to do a video anyway.
Yeah, stupid.
Whatever.
Well,
What if we like recorded our Skype call?
that's a really good idea. Oh my God.
It's really easy because we all can just like be
And if that doesn't work, we can.
Like, we can bribe him with Banchan, like, you know.
Yeah.
Hey,
You can
all right.
John.
Bye, bye, bye.